Hi, welcome to this lecture. Our main aim now is to learn how can we create box plots using the lattice package. So I went ahead and I have opened this dataset. We are going to use this dataset for demonstration purposes. So this is a tooth growth dataset. So this was a study on the effect of vitamin C on tooth growth in guinea pigs. So in this dataset, the response was the length. There are also other two variables. So let's look at those variables. Okay, so we have supplemented type, which is VC or OJ. So this VC or OJ stands for ascorbic acid for VC and orange juice for OJ. Then we have dose. So you can see here this is numeric and this is a factor and this is also numeric, the length. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to see how can we create a box plot using the lattice package. Okay, so let us look at the structure of this data set. So if we say tooth growth, okay, so as you can see here, we have this numeric and the length is also numeric. However, when it comes to the dose, let us look at this data set. The dose, it only has 3 levels. Okay, so we have 0.5, 1, and 2. So what we want to do is we simply just want to convert this dose into a factor. And in order to do this, we're going to come to this data set and say tooth growth. What we want to do now is we want to convert dose and we want to convert these to be a factor. Okay, so we're going to come and say tooth growth, and so we're going to come here and say tooth growth and we want to convert dose. Okay, so let's look at the structure again of this data set, which is tooth growth. So we can see now we have dose. Okay, so it has 3 levels, 0, 0.5, 1, and 2. So now we are ready to create the box plot. Okay, so let's say, for example, we want to create a basic box plot for the length by dose. Okay, so we come in here and say we want to create a box plot. So we're going to use this function. Okay, so we want the length, the y-axis, and then we want the dose, right? So if we pass in here, we're going to say tooth growth. And if you run this, we can also go ahead and try to create a box plot by groups. Okay, but now creating it in multiple panels. So let's come in and say bwplot, right? Let's say we want that for length. Now let's say we're gonna put in the supplement type. Okay, and now we want for each dose. Okay, so now we want for each dose. Remember, we converted dose and we made it to be a factor. So we're gonna say it's tooth growth. And if you run this, now what you are seeing here is that now we have multiple panels. Okay, so first, starting for dose when it's 0.5, remember it's in milligrams per day, right? So it's 0.5 milligrams per day, 1 milligrams per day, and it's 2 milligrams per day. So what it has done is that it also, we now have this supplement type, okay, which can either be an orange juice or ascorbic acid. So let's go ahead and try to add the X labels in this case. So in this case, the X labels, they represent what? They represent the supplement type. So if we run this, we have the supplement type. So the Y label is what? Is the length, so, right? And we can also add the name and say this here is our box plot, right? So this here is an example of how you can use a lattice package in order to create a box plot and also try to group by certain variables in multiple panes.